So as you know, the California State Fair underway. One of the fair's biggest draws is the food. I know I'm going to eat at Joe's to get that pork chop on a stick. So many of the vendors are certainly no strangers to Cal Expo.
That's right. One staple of the fair is Milo's corn dogs, which has been serving visitors for many years. ABC 10's Marcus Allen is live from Cal Expo to tell us more about the legacy.
Yeah, you mentioned Joe. I've been friends with Joe for years. And then, of course, Milo, I've known for decades. One of the very first people I met when I moved to California, as I set foot on the grounds of the California State Fair the first day I arrived in Sacramento. Got to know the man, the myth behind these monstrous corn dogs. And right now, if Milo were still with us, he'd say, "Shut up and talk about the corn dogs." So let me begin by celebrating the corn dogs. Take a look. Golden, delicious. They've been around since at least 1927 when the first Frankfurt frying machine patent was filed. For many, the California State Fair is all about this golden goodness on a stick, and the longest running, most award-winning purveyor of which was Milo. I had the pleasure, the honor of spending one more last good visit with him in this RV, some form of which he had camped out in for 54 years on this very site. How did it come to be? What made you think this is what I'm gonna do?
Well, to put it in a nutshell, a friend told me this fella wanted to meet me because I had one of the faster cars in the county. And I went over and met him and everything. I liked the guy and we had fun and everything was good. But he never seemed to go to work. And he had this cool truck, he had this, building this beautiful race car, had a nice family. And finally I said to him, I said, "What in the heck do you do for a living?" And he said, "I sell corn dogs in the summertime." Wow, that sounded pretty cool.
And the rest, they say, is history. He survived the pandemic by setting up outside auto dealerships. As for his legacy, he says he has his mom to thank for that.
I'll tell you what, I was 19 years old and I had a lot of friends. And they go, "You're crazy, Milo." And I remember telling my mom that, and my mom said to me, she said, "You know, if people don't think that you're a little off," he goes, "it ain't gonna work, so go for it, son."
I loved getting to know that guy, and I especially loved that closing shot of him with the corn dog. I will celebrate his life forever, things he taught me forever. Here's to you, corn dog guy, and I will never be at the California State Fair without getting one of these. This one in particular is a monster. So where does Milo's go from here? Welcome, the Prince of Corn Dogs, Travis Franks. How are you?
Doing good, how are you?
All right, so, you know, a lot of pressure standing on the shoulders of your dad, Milo. How does that feel, especially this time of year?
Well, it's a lot of pressure. He's some big shoes to fill, but it feels good keeping his legacy going.
What was it like as a kid? You know, he's been doing this your whole life and then some. What was it like growing up in the industry?
Oh, how cool could it be as being a kid growing up on the carnival? It's awesome. And I remember standing on a milk crate to run the register when I was a kid.
Any things your dad taught you or anything that will carry on with you, just in the way you run this or live life or do business?
Everything I know, my dad taught me, and just...
It's got to be emotional coming back. You know, the first year of the California State Fair without Milo, it's got to be hitting you hard.
Yeah, it's hitting me really hard, but also at the same time, it's healing. Feels good keeping his legacy going and using those tools he gave me to, you know, keep this going.
When you look out and you see those smiles as they step up to get one of these, right?
Yep.
I'm going to have you hold that. I'm going to give this guy a big hug and say, "Cheers to Milo.
Milo.
Come get your corn dog." Back to you.
Thank you. Mark, that's...
And by the way,
yeah.
Frank's really their last name. It sounds like a made-up name of a corn dog purveyor, but their real last name is Franks.
That's good advertisement, too.
I love that. And it's also good to see a kid who appreciates his dad and remembers him well and has that kind of emotional feeling. I think that's important. Loves his dad, who's looking down from above. All right. Marcus Allen with the biggest corn dog of the year and Junior Franks. All right. Thank you, Mark.